Hey there, sorry it's been a while. Been having to transition into a few new things, like, new programs, new work, and, whatever that was. Anyway, let's get on with the beast blending. Alrighty, most of you already know the drill. I will be rolling from two different tables, one with Pokemon, the other with D&D monsters, and fusing the two together into a new creation you can use for your personal games. Now, these stat blocks are available in the description below. It doesn't matter how many times I say this, someone will be asking for it in the comments. Anywho, on to our first roll, which is 64, which is Gumi. A cute baby that will inevitably be cursed by this next roll, which is Scourge. Well, I told you so. I mean, in some certain instances, Scourges can be cute, right? Probably. No. Okay, I tried. Alright, this is what we're working with. Let's do this. Gumi, the weakest dragon Pokemon. This pile of Dragonite snot is weirdly cute, despite the fact that it's covered in a thick membrane of germ-laden ooze, which is then paired with an oversized blood-sucking rat mosquito that attaches to any living creature with its vice-like back legs. You're just asking for the most disgusting vermin in all of 5e. So I give you the inseparable scourge that is the clot fly. Illness was once seen as a supernatural affliction of the body, any symptoms of which were merely manifestations of the unseen weaving their evil work through the veins of mortality. But what if these pathogens actually emerged in dramatic magical ways that we once imagined? Arising from these dark threads is the clot fly, a sickening fiend of pestilence that spreads through the blood of its victims. Using its sharp proboscis, it stabs into a warm-blooded creature and leaves behind a parting gift, even if it's extinguished. The victim, suddenly overwhelmed with nausea, becomes a carrier for the clot fly to spread. Should the host's blood meet the air while infected, the spray will form into a new clot fly. Imagine, if you will, fair dungeon master, the nightmarish scenario of an infected ogre slashed deftly by a fighter, only to have the wound spawn a new friendly face to exterminate. How dreadful indeed. Oof, alright, on to another choice selection of fine monsters. Okay, rolling it. 78. Sceptile. Nice. That's my starter for, like, when I first played 3rd gen. Although, honestly, all the starters for that gen were amazing. Anyway, 31. Cockatrice. Okay, that one... Okay, rolled a Doom Chicken. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Alright. First up, your classic final grass starter. Dinosaur-like, big tree appendage, some seed nodules, and boom, you've got Sceptile. Probably the most noteworthy detail on our big green gecko is the thorny wrist leaves that he uses as swords. Then on the other side of the dinosaurian spectrum is this demonic chicken of myth, the cockatrice. You know you've got problems when a 2-foot McNugget can turn you to stone. So, I bestow upon the world the Pteroraptor, a small beast of striking camouflage that stalks the dense forests and jungles. Despite its stature, it can take down prey far greater than itself by employing a magical toxin stored in its barbed tail. A pack of these hungry Pteroraptors can stalk unaware travelers and quickly slap them with their tails. Before the wayfarers can even react, their wounds quickly crust over with stone. The hunter watches in horror as his good hand is enveloped by rock, while his partner drags behind a stone-swallowed leg. With a crack across the face, the barb finds purchase on the mage's cheek and quickly seals her mouth shut. Another whip of the tail into the barbarian's chest knocks the wind out of her hardening lungs. Surprised and crippled, the party must get creative when dealing with the Pteroraptor's signature partial petrification. To die at the hands of such a creature is a slow and painful one. Don't crumble under pressure, adventurers. for the next few fusions, I'll be drawing ones that I didn't get the chance to finish during my first stream, which ended abruptly because my internet is garbage. Anywho, some of you may remember one of the most stupid combinations of all existence. I give you Hydreigon plus Hydra. Now, I started on this freak of nature, but I never got to finish it, so let's do this bad boy justice. First, to break things down, Hydreigon is a destructive force of nature, whose previous evolutions lacked any cognizant thought. This dark, multi-headed dragon crushes villages for sport, and without a strongly good aligned trainer, firmly seats itself on the evil spectrum. The deity Hydra, redundantly, is also a multi-headed dragon whose heads aren't carrying a lot of gray matter, but unlike its Pokemon counterpart, severing its head will multiply mouths to feed. So you may think, oh, there's nothing much to unpack here, but that's the fun challenge of making the Dracomira. Far beneath the surface toil the hands of excited cultists, smiling with delight at a writhing mass of scales. All other attempts to restore their chromatic goddess to this world failed, but this time they had it surely. Under the dim candlelight, they could scarcely see the new body as it slithered into being. Hearing the click of scales against stone, the cultists called out to their new creation, and a cacophony of screams answered back. The robed figures tripped over themselves, fighting for the exit. The serpentine mass bit and tore its way closer, spraying forth a prismatic array of elemental force. Driven by bestial impulse toward entropy, it carved its way through the chamber. Any evidence of the rite had been wicked clean by the rolling chaos of this newly born beast. Though on the surface, moving tremors have been reported far and wide, Bahamut help us, should the false goddess ever find her way to the overworld. The utter destruction would be unparalleled. Next up, another roll from the stream that actually caused the stream to crash and end early. Hence, that's why you don't see it up, because it's incomplete. I'll get good internet eventually, one of these days. But anyway, the combo was of Lapras crossed with a Marinoloth. Marinoloth. It's one of those loths. Anyway, which is a bit insane, because again, two very similar creatures. But regardless, this is what I came up with. Lapras, the kind and gentle transport Pokemon. For a long time, Lapras was the default sprite used for surfing across the water, and was a prominent star in the anime for the very same reason. Marinoloth was a creature I was unfamiliar with, but this fiend bears striking similarities with the mythic Charon, the ferryman of the River Styx. Any ship fortunate enough to have such a powerful creature at the helm will reach their destination without fail. Both sides so heavily influenced by nautical transportation, it made perfect sense to combine the two into a living boat. Long since left behind by the civilizations that carefully crafted them, the oarman waits patiently for their next passenger to board. Often found buried beneath moss, algae, and ocean fauna, this vehicle construct was once held in prestige for its ability to entertain and educate its riders. But like most trends, the clockwork oarman tours quickly fell out of fashion, and their gleaming bodies now rest on piles of sewer refuse beneath the cities. Well-learned adventurers may pay a kindness to such a lonely beast by simply inserting 2 coins in slots in its eyes. With such a gesture, the mechanical marvel will be singing and sailing in no time. Although riders may take note that the bouts of prolonged loneliness the oarman endured may come with problematic separation issues and glitches in its programming. To avoid reaching the destination and deactivation too soon, the oarman may take a longer tour than perhaps the adventurers were hoping for. But you have to admit, the dead sewer Otia gets better the third time you see it. Alright, that's enough of the stream rolls. Let's get another wild card in here. Okay, 59, which is Mawile. You know, I've always really enjoyed this Pokemon's design, but I never used it in game. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, and mixed with 40, which is an Ultraloth. Okay, I have no idea what that is, other than it's one of the Loth things, like the Yugoloth things. This is it's gonna be a weird one. Both of these contenders are on the bizarre side. Unlike any of the previous entries, this one is out there. Mawile is a steel fairy that hides in caves and uses its tiny body as a lure to draw in prey. Inversely, the Ultraloth is a fiend that captains the great Yugoloth armies and has intensely powerful hypnotic abilities to issue out said commands. Such a combination could only result in the loud and chaotic Pest Piper. With an enormous secondary mouth fashioned into a war horn, this tiny tricksy fae issues an alluring call to any nearby creatures to suddenly behave in strange, erratic patterns. The Pest Piper delights in exacting paranoia on average commoners by causing rats to dance in the streets, black flies to spell out rude phrases, or birds to suddenly drop from the sky. This dark fae is a savant of suggestion, and can even commandeer the minds of men and beast alike. If you've ever angered the high fae court, the common means of exacting karmatic justice is to send a Pest Piper to slowly drive the perpetrators mad. Case in point, a flock of seagulls come to rain on a paladin's parade. The tired soldier goes to wash his soiled armor in a river, but is quickly overwhelmed by quippers. Exhausted, he struggles on shore only to find his underclothes stolen and recycled by nesting squirrels. Ridding oneself of such a powerful annoyance isn't easy, but it sure beats being assaulted by chipmunks every morning. Okay, geez. Hope you guys enjoyed these wonderful monstrosities. Thanks again so much to the wonderful patrons that support these artistic endeavors. Holy crap, you guys are great. Because I can't stream because of my internet situation, so instead I'll be putting up little Q&A videos there where the monster making process is played in real time. I hope that's a good trade-off in the meantime until I move. So anyway, also people keep saying that my monsters are too spicy for their CR, so I'm gonna put out another warning that I like to keep my players on their toes, and DMs, use these monsters at your own player's peril and send their tears my way. Alright, see you next time!